justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Welcome to our new permanent home, at least for now, for the meeting room, at least. Other things to come, so. All right, first order of business is public comment for agenda items only. So,
I had sent an email earlier asking if the first part of the stormwater was what Chuck, I think Chief Keller had mentioned on the 8/13 meeting about the stormwater pipe busting in Conewago Valley, I think had to replace it.
No, we're still, it's still under design.
Okay, is that what that is referring to though?
Yeah, that's what.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know what exactly it meant, so I was asking if those two are connected, because that wasn't in the meeting minutes from 8/13, but I remember you saying that.
okay. Other public comment on any agenda items? All right, thank you. Finances. First is payables from,
Minutes.
I'm sorry, approval of the minutes from the September 10th council meeting, which I was not present for. I'll entertain a motion to approve or deny the September 10th council minutes.
I'll make that motion.
To approve, I'm assuming. All right, been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Now, on to finances. Payables from September 5th to September 18th in the amount of $100,667.14. I will entertain a motion to approve those payables.
I'll make that motion.
Second motion.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Next item under finances is the payroll from September 5th to September 18th in the amount of $60,754.26. I will entertain a motion for approval of the payroll for those dates.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right. Next item is new business, and the first item under the area of new business is the Lakeview Drive / Park Stormwater Project to be discussed by the borough manager.
Yeah, this is, I've talked about this a couple times. Hopefully at 3 o'clock this afternoon, they met on this, I wasn't there. What this is, it's tied into the park, but it isn't. And we did some engineering changes on it to get, to pick up all that water that comes down Lakeview and comes down behind the lighting place there in their driveway. And we found that there's just a huge amount of water down there, and the storm drains in the road aren't even large enough to pick up the amount of water that comes down through there. So as a result, what happens is that water then goes over the curb and floods down into the park. And it's causing a lot of issues. So basically what we're going to do is take that pipe, we're adding a storm drain in Lakeview Drive to collect some of that water. And the way we have it designed now, it's going to go completely down through the park. It's going to pick up some of the drainage areas that we have an issue with in other areas of the park. And we're taking it down past the parking lot, almost down around that top pavilion, and dumping it down into the Alloway Creek there. We're still working with Adams County as far as our, the water runoff permits and stuff that we need. And we should have that. The only good thing is we can probably, since we're tying it into the park, we don't have to get a separate permit for that. We can hook that in with our current existing permit we have for the park now as far as your EDS permit. So basically, we will meet with them probably before Friday. I would hope this will be done. I'll meet with the engineers once we get the final price and work with the contractors to see if we can start that construction, because that actually can hold some of the park project up. There's so much water underground there through that whole park. We don't want to tie that into the old pipes. We would prefer to tie that into the new ones, obviously, and get that water out of the area. So once that's done, I will meet with Liquid Fuels, because since that is stormwater management and it's really not connected with the pipe, and you can actually take that off-site to get rid of that. A lot of this cost can be covered by our Liquid Fuels money. And there are certain things that we would have to pay for, but that wouldn't be covered by Liquid Fuels, but the majority of the cost should be able to be covered by that. Hopefully, within a week to 10 days, we have this and we can start with the construction of that. That's basically all I have right now until we get the finalization.
Questions for Chuck on that project from council?
Since I'm new to this, just when you say the liquid fuels money, what does that encompass?
We get, Liquid Fuels is the money we get from the state for our roads.
Okay,
That covers all, like a lot of the replacements, the overlays, doesn't pay for sewer and water, does pay, you can use some of it for storm drains, and that's all this is.
okay, thanks.
Other questions for Chuck?
I
All right.
have a question.
Yep,
I have a question. I guess it's no problem running that stormwater runoff
Look
into
at
the
him
creek?
and ask him.
Oh. I guess it's no problem running that stormwater runoff into the creek?
No, it ends up there anyhow,
Oh, okay.
but we just wanna, we would prefer it goes in there without tearing our park and our roads all up, because
Okay.
it causes problems in the parking lot. And the last couple big rains, fortunately, that one big one we had, we really saw how bad that problem was. There was water blowing out of the storm drains 6 feet in the air, so that's an issue.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, next item under new business is a request from Littlestown Watchdogs to hold an event in Krause Park on April 12th, 2025. And are you going to speak to that?
Sure. So we would like to have, it's gonna be called, Bark in the Park. It'll be a dog show, dedicated to Luke, who passed away recently. He's actually one of my good friend's fathers. So we put it in his name, and Ruth will be helping us. We plan to have a dog competition, but it's not really, like, we're not looking for show dogs. It's like cutest dog. We're gonna involve the kids. They have like a Kids' Choice Award. We'll have the best costume, best dress. Basically, we're playing off the Watchdogs. So then we'll have like a watch your health area where we hopefully can get like the mobile mammogram station, maybe a chiropractor, maybe Athletico or pivot therapy as it's called. And then, watch your mental health, where we'll get the trauma dogs to come. We reached out to them, the ASPCA, to get it like an adoption pet, and then mental health services if you're looking for a therapist, meet and greet kind of thing. I quoted insurance, sorry. I quoted insurance. The quote I have right now is up to $1 million, basically a $1,000 payout for each person. But on top of that, we plan to write out some kind of waiver saying, if you put your dog in the show, you're under complete control. Dogs do not leave their leashes. You clean up after your pet. Then the second portion of that would be, if you bring your dog to watch, that you take the same liability. So we'll probably go through Eventbrite and put a disclaimer in there. So like if you want to come into the event period, you have to sign and say, you understand you're going to be around dogs and you need to control your dog, and your dog should be up on its vaccinations.
That was going to, I had some questions around exactly what you just addressed, but Council, questions?
You talked about the SPCA, have you thought about doing like an adoption thing with that at that time
We-
too, or?
We have, ASPCA cannot do it, but I wanna reach out to Double Dog Dare Rescue. And I also wanna bring in dog groomers and dog trainers, so people can adopt any pet and train them to be like a trauma, not like a true support animal, but like
Right.
close enough.
Emotional support.
Yes, exactly, well behaved.
Thank you.
Jennifer?
I just have a question. When you say control, I would like to see something that specifies control as a leash, or, because there are people who will show up with their dogs off leash and say, well, I have control of my dog, so.
Oh no,
I think it should
absolutely,
be that
everyone needs to be on
specific.
a leash.
That's actually an ordinance.
Yeah, I don't think they can, yeah.
You know,
Hopefully not.
People do what they do.
Yeah, but when we deconstruct everything, we'll ensure that it's all pet. You won't know that a lot of dogs had just been there. And we'll make sure that we leave everything as we found it.
And just a quick follow-up, if you would just introduce yourself.
Oh, hi. I'm Johanna Rouse, and I live in Littlestown. And I'm the president of the Littlestown Watchdogs. But we recently got our 501(c)(3) certificate, whatever. We opened a bank account, and what we want to do is just work with everyone to help give back to the community. And we thought a mental health fair, since that seems to be the biggest health topics in the school board right now, mental health, we thought it would be great for the community.
Will you need electric?
I don't think so. It's gonna be just like, kind of like a dog carnival, is what I have in my head.
Other questions? All right, so I will entertain a motion to either approve or deny the request from the Littlestown Watchdogs to hold the Littlestown Watchdogs competition, as Johanna just described, on April 12th, 2025, from 1 to 4 at Kraus Park, contingent upon a certificate of insurance being received by the borough office.
One other question real quick. Do you have a rain date?
No,
Or
actually,
is
the
it rain or
insurance,
shine?
rain or shine, the insurance won't cover a rain date, so
Okay.
we're just gonna stick with the 12th. Plus Easter's the next weekend, and then Mother's Day. Oh,
Well, I know what'll happen is once council does their motion, like sometimes we'll get calls.
Yeah.
So we can kind of say like, no, they don't have a rain date,
I
so
can-
I just wanted to make sure.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just, the thought that popped in my head, I'll put it on the flyer, not that everyone reads the entire thing, but no rain date.
Okay.
We'll also have mommy and pup pictures that you'll get before Mother's Day. I'm a dork for this stuff, so.
All right, council, I need a motion, if you're so inclined to approve this request.
I make that motion.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Last item of new business is from the park project. It's a change order for the baseball backstop, and that's for, the change order is for C.S. Davidson, the engineer, to change the baseball backstop fencing with a hood at a 45-degree angle. You all got that information emailed to you with a photograph of it. The amount of the change order would be $4,835.75, and this has been reviewed and recommended by the park committee, so I'll entertain a motion to approve that change order.
I make that motion.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried. Thank you. All right, reports. Mayor?
Okay, so, just to kind of give an overview, not that everybody really needs to know, but I've been mayor now for 2 months and 1 day. In that time, we've had a funnel cloud form outside of town, a tornado warning, the remnants of a hurricane come through, and a truck into the laundromat. And so I say all that because yesterday, Senator Casey's office hosted a disaster preparedness for local governments. It was a good use of 90 minutes of my day, I just want to let you know. I also recently had the ability to attend the Adams County Borough Association, so I'm getting my fingers wet and learning about what's out there and all the rest of it. So those are the things I'm doing to help learn to be the mayor. Just an announcement, it's come out on both Savvy, and I think there was an email that came out that the Thunderbolt Foundation is hosting a viewing of I guess a small film called Screenagers. It is this Thursday, the 26th, from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at the Littlestown High School Auditorium. If you are the parent of individuals who are attached electronically to this, it just looks like it might be worthwhile, children or grandchildren. So those are all my public service announcements. I did put out that there will be office hours with the mayor. It will be the first and third Tuesday from, oh, I didn't write it down. That's the evening ones, I think 6 to 7:30. So council meetings are the second and fourth. I will be hosting office hours the first and third. I will put out exactly where they're going to be this week. We're having a little discussion around that. I will also do a Saturday morning, the second Saturday of every month. I will make myself available from 8 to 10 for those of you who don't want to be hanging out with me once it gets dark in the winter hours. I'm not sure I should be driving after dark, so so first and third Tuesdays for me between 6 and 7:30. I'll have office hours in the evenings, and then the second Saturday of every month I will have office hours in the morning. I have a planning committee that has been started. They've done really nice work with planning Christmas on the Square. So I announced this last time, but again, I'm going to put it out there again. Christmas on the Square is Saturday, December 7th from 5 to 8 p.m. We do have signs. I just want to give that update because we talked about it at the planning committee, but we do have signs that will be posted on the entrances to town that will go up. They'll go up the first week in November. And then I will make flyers and other things too up with the local businesses. But the planning committee meets again on October 21st at 6 p.m. Those meetings will all be at the library. They're going to be on Mondays. When I went to the library wanting to do Wednesday just doesn't work for them, so they'll be Mondays. It will be the third Monday of every month. So for the rest of the year, it's October 21st, November 18th, and December 16th. Finally, on October 26th, and I'll get moving on getting word out about this because October's right around the corner. On October 26th, I will be doing a fall craft event for the children of the community whose ages may range from 0 to 99. Because I would appreciate if you know, the parents and the adults and the grandparents or whatever brought their children or grandchildren in. We will have activities. I have been using all of my neighbors' children under the age of 6 to test the activities to make sure that they are child-friendly. The only thing I'm holding up on announcing a time is whether or not the sports, like the youth sports, Littlestown Elementary football and all that, if they are playing in the morning that day or if they're moved to their evening hours, because it's either going to be 10 to 12 or 1 to 3 depending on the hours. There will be activities for the kids. I got some cool little games and things for them to do so that, you know, one finishes an activity sooner than another one does. Should you have more than one child, they will be entertained. So it will be just an activity, kids can come in, and I'm also considering doing a sensory hour. So if anybody knows of anybody who's got a son or a daughter, an adult son or daughter, grandchild or whatever, who doesn't do as well in a crowd with people moving around and a lot of noise, I will set aside an hour either right before or right after for people with sensory issues to come in and to be able to do an activity. I've also reached out to some middle schoolers I know, and actually high schoolers, I'm getting old, some high schoolers I know to ask if they would volunteer to come in and assist. And so that way the students can get community service hours if they need it. Also local crafters like Jody over here, anybody who wants to come in and is artsy or crafty, please reach out. I would gladly use all the volunteers who want to come forward and help me. So that one is October 26th, and I will get word out in a better announcement by the end of this month.
Where?
So it's going to be at the library. That community at the community room at the library that we used to meet in, they have tables and they're just easier to move and easier to set up stations, and that is still available to us. And it was a generous donation to get that room for us from the Eagles, so I'd like to continue to use it. And that's it.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
The tree lighting, that's gonna be at the same time as the.
December
Christmas on the
7th.
Square.
December 7th. Yeah.
Living in for me. Okay, Council President updates. I guess the only thing that I want to speak to, since we're in here now, at least this far, and we are no further, and we won't be for some time, back there and down there. So the rest of the building is really off limits right now. We've kept the doors locked because there's all kinds of materials back there that were just left by the dialysis center, and it's really not wise to have people tripping around back there, literally possibly tripping around back there until we start to decide just how we're going to utilize the rest of that for borough offices, potentially for the police department at some point, that kind of thing. So we're very happy to have this, get our desks back after a few years. This is for those of you that never came to borough meetings in the building where Monique's is now, and Make a Daisy. This was how the meeting room was set up there when the borough owned that building. So, you know, we have to start to do some planning and probably start to consider what we may do and what it may cost to start to occupy more of this building and move the offices down here. If we do indeed move the police department eventually, an alternative we have, and it's an alternative to consider, the council will make that decision at that time, would be to sell the building that we currently own up here on the corner, to recoup some of the expense related to this building. So that's basically all that I wanted to update folks on tonight from my point of view. So that being said, I'll hand it over to the borough manager, chief of police.
A lot of people have been asking when Halloween is. We do it on Thursday night, Halloween night. It's October 31st from 6 to 8. So that's when we will have trick-or-treat night for the borough. I keep reminding everybody of this. October 12th from 10 to 3 p.m. the Public Works Building on Whitehall Road. We will be doing a bulk trash pickup. Everybody in town can register. It's free. Bring all your stuff that you want to get rid of. Furniture, washer dryers, no electronics, tires, liquids, or hazmats, and brush. People are asking if they can bring brush. No, we're not going to get rid of brush. We really have no way of getting rid of it, so that brush is not allowed either. Microwaves, we were saying refrigerators and freezers, that we'll take that. So we will have different dumpsters there to separate that stuff out and get rid of it. But again, it's free to borough residents. The park project is progressing well. The rain's not helping. That's slowing us up a little bit. Walking trails are almost in, the bases, not the final coat. They're coming out really nice. The playground equipment is currently being installed. The company came in this week and started beginning to do that. Fencing should be put up next week. We're starting to pour sidewalks. The wheels fell off of that with the rain this week, but we were going to try to get that done this week, but we'll see how the rest of the week goes. But all in all, it's going pretty much according to plan, and hopefully we get this other issue with the Lakeview Drive water runoff and get that taken care of, and we can tie that in with this project. But any questions so far from council on the park back there, or anybody? Okay.
Is that it?
No.
Okay.
We are pretty much completing, as you all know, we rearranged against the laundromat a couple weeks ago, completing the accident investigation on that. I haven't talked to the owner, but I'm almost certain it's probably going to be totally removed. Gas company called me for permitting and stuff. They're going to pull new gas lines in, and from what I understand, in talking to earlier conversation with him, he's trying to move us along as fast as he can. I mean, that was busy. That's a needed item in town. A lot of people use that laundromat, so hopefully we can get that done. We will help him any way we can to get that. But everybody was saying that, you know, it just looks like the guy had an accident. I mean, as accidents go, if you're going to do it, he did it right. But there was no cars. I mean, we have the truck cam videos. Just veered off. He veered off the road and hit a parked car. Speed was not an issue. Car was not illegally parked. Car was tight against the curb. You see him going down the road. He just veers over, and it just launched the truck into the air, and it went downhill from there. But you got to figure that's a lot of weight. So when that gets going, there's not a lot you can do to stop that. We had this generator here checked. This building is it's redundant power. It's a gas generator out here, natural gas generator, which we actually need because we open up an emergency operations center, we lose the power and stuff. We need to run the police radios and everything else. So that was one of the purposes that we needed for this building. That being said, we're looking at now, we have the 2 new generators. We have the big generators at the plants and some out at the well houses. We're changing the companies. I had Gene get somebody in there to look at it, and I'm going to change the company that does our generator maintenances next year, and it should be a significant savings. Just the one at the wastewater treatment plant, we were probably paying $3,000–4,000 a year just to keep that under a service contract. And hopefully now with this guy, the way it looks, and it's a reputable company, so they will do it. Hopefully we can do all of them for $5,000, so that'll save a lot of money if we would have had to do all the new generators. So that's going to work out. I'm working with a realty company. I talked to him twice now. They're under contract and they're trying to bring a couple pieces in, and I'm going to meet with them, businesses in, for the old VFW building. So hopefully we can get that building repurposed with a commercial property and get that building back and operating. Because the longer it sits there, the worse it gets. So hopefully they can get that worked out. We're still continuing to work on all the codes issues and issuing all the permits. That's being taken care of. Sandy and I, we've been working with all the different employees, getting the budget stuff put together. So hopefully that'll be out at the end of the month. We're still getting contract prices on our contracted services for our sewer and water plants, and it just takes a while to get in and get these people to give you the prices you need. So hopefully that'll all be done, and council will have that by the end of the month. Just to remind everybody, we're having that medicine take back. It'll be up at the police station October 26th from 10 to 2. So any unused medicines and anything you want to get rid of, just bring them in and we'll get rid of them for you. If you have any questions, that's pretty much all I have going.
Questions for Chuck? Council members? Okay, thanks, Chuck. Sandy, a couple of updates.
I didn't take these off, but we're still working on the municipal records, and I put out another RFP to CPA firms. I I did 4 more, I just got one back, and staffing is